Hey everyone, welcome back to Will's Bill's Garage. We have a little bit of a different video for you today. I am finally going to put in a Circle D torque converter, and the reason for that real quick is one, I'm trying to solve a vibration issue that I've been shaking down for the last 9 months. Let me know if you want to see a separate video on my full-on wrestling match with this vibration issue at highway speeds. I can detail everything I've changed and researched about it to hopefully help one of you guys out. But I think this torque converter may fix the issue. At least I'm hoping so. But the other thing is, with a Circle D torque converter, I'm going to get a little bit of performance gain because I went with not only a billet, the thing that the clutch hits or whatever, but the 22 to 2400 stall, which Circle D said it's going to feel mostly stock, but it's going to give me just a little bit of a performance gain to kind of make the motor come alive. So I'm really excited about that. But it's one of these projects I just can't do on my own. I don't have the tools, nor the time, or the energy to do it myself. And I know I'll get some flack for that. But at the end of the day, I've got family and work and everything else competing for my time. And something like this, I just don't want to spend 3 or 4 days doing it and then probably make a mistake in the process. So I went to Google and I started searching. I started calling all over town here in Las Vegas for a transmission shop that I felt good giving my business to. And pretty much everyone I talked to just was very short with me, or just didn't give me that warm fuzzy I was looking for to be able to pull the trigger until I got to this shop. And we're at Jose's Transmission. As soon as I called, they answered. I told them what I was doing. And the gentleman we're about to meet struck up conversation, was asking me, hey, what's your project? What's your goals? And he really wanted to hear about the truck and what I was after. Immediately, I thought, finally, someone that's willing to engage in conversation with me about this project. And it's important, I think, for most people to feel heard when it comes to the things they care about. And they definitely hit the mark. And then if you look at the Google reviews for this place, somehow they've gotten 5 stars from everyone, and to me that's amazing. It's not an easy thing to do, especially in this industry. Anytime we have an opportunity to support a local business, especially one that's doing as good as these guys are according to their Google reviews, we're going to do it. So you get to see the project, but we also get to highlight a great local business. So let's head in and we'll meet these guys and see how they're doing on the project.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for letting us come to your shop and show what you guys are doing. We love that you guys are crushing it on the Google reviews and offering great service. So why don't you tell everyone your name and a little bit about the business?
Hello, my name is Jose. I work here at Jose's Transmissions with my dad. We've been here for quite a while. We kind of just specialize on transmissions, so yeah.
You said 25 years you've been here?
Close to that, since 2001. Yeah, so
a long time. We got a project today where we're changing out the torque converter on the truck.
Yep.
And we already had a conversation about it and everything. But what's your guys' kind of approach to a project like this?
We started out by raising the truck, which I kind of wanted to see what we had to do, since a lot of the stuff is like aftermarket. It's a really clean truck, by the way.
Thank you.
Super
working
clean.
hard on it, man. Working hard.
Yeah. Now, when I saw it, bro, I was like, man, this truck, you could tell you take care of it because everything is super clean. You know, I could tell that you just like your truck a lot. So we started out by just kind of going over everything. And the only thing I could see that's going to give us a hard time is probably the exhaust, just because it's all one piece. But we can work around that and make it happen. But right now we're working on removing the transmission.
Okay. Can we go take a look?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we're working on taking the transmission out right now. We got the cross member out, driveline out, the harness is out. Right now we're working on removing the torque converter bolts right in here. So this is a 4L60E unit. I pulled the pan. I don't know how hard you beat it up, but it was clean. The pan was pretty clean. It didn't have like no metal shavings.
The fluid was recently changed.
Got you.
But
okay.
We're also going to do a full fluid flush today, right?
Yeah. So what I did, I removed the pan before I started the job just to get all the oil out of the unit. so we're not making a mess like when we pull the drive shaft or when we pull the unit out.
Yeah.
And I did save it. The reason why I saved it is just because if it was old and it looked dirty, I wouldn't want to put new fluid in it.
Okay.
A lot of times you don't want to do that. Say it's borderline about to go out, you'd rather put the old fluid back in and then just run it.
Interesting.
I mean, that would be an option. Obviously, if it looks really bad, then we would like talk about overhauling it or going from there. So far, the oil looked really clean, so nothing to be concerned about. What I'm gonna do is keep removing the transmission. That way we can get access to the torque converter. I'm gonna clean everything up. That way everything that goes back in is super clean. Do some cleaning on the housing. That way it can pair up to the rest of the truck how you have it nice and clean. We got the torque converter over here. You did a really good job by ordering it for Circle D. I personally think they're one of the best ones out there. I think it's gonna do great for the truck, man. I can't wait to put it on and see what it does.
Likewise. I've done a little bit of research online, and it's like there's so many opinions on this stuff.
Got you.
And it's for someone like me that doesn't really know anything virtually about transmissions. It's who do I listen to? You know, that's why I mean, coming to a shop like this, it's like at least you've been doing it long enough. You can have an informed opinion. You know what I mean? And I can just choose to trust you and just see how it goes. But
yeah, it's so much labor involved on overhauling a unit that you do gotta trust an overhaul kit, you know? Like we've dealt with some companies that for a while, like they were giving us like defective seals to where they won't seal right, stuff like that. So we get away from them instantly as soon as, and the only way to find out is when you go through it, but they've been really good to us, the TransStar company. So.
And then for a project like mine, at what point would I just have to go with a 4L80 upgrade?
I'd say once you start getting more up to like the 500 horsepower area and above, probably 7. I mean, 60s, if you know how to handle them, I mean, they're not the best transmissions, but they will hold up if you know how to drive them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like how you drive it.
Maybe you can give me some pointers later.
Got a servo here, Corvette servo. That's from 1-2. There's also a billet one, but the shift will be harder. Like, yeah, I wanted it more like a little bit, not too hard.
1 to 2 is already like pretty slamming, and I don't know why.
On this one?
Yeah, just it kicks pretty decent.
It's not like, and I saved it so you can see it, you know, in case it was dirty that way, but it looks really clean.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about that.
Good deal.
But no, we're gonna put I'm gonna remove the pan back out, and then I'll scuff it up and paint it, and then put a new filter, new gasket. That way everything looks super clean on the bottle.
Awesome. Well, watching them have to remove the exhaust out of the way is good confirmation that I did the right thing having someone else do this, because trying to do that on a truck that's lowered, no, it would have been a nightmare. Okay, so that seems really fast. Would that take like 20, 30 minutes? Now that it's out, what's kind of the next steps?
So now that it's out, the next steps is we got the old torque converter out. Make sure that the seal looks nice and dry. That's one thing I would inspect. Make sure it doesn't have no leaks, because if it has leaks right now will be the time.
These guys are, I think, set apart when it comes to these things. We'll see if it performs. I'll be sure to give a full review. All right, you got that thing looking really good.
Yeah, we just cleaned it out just so we don't go back in with it dirty. That way everything looks nice and clean. Got the torque converter right here from Circle D. Got the billet housing. So Gonna go in with it now. And you should hear 2 clicks. So what I always do, I center the torque converter on the shaft, go in a bit, and then as you're turning, you'll hear it click. So that's the first click. And then there's that second click. And then I always back out just a bit. And then once you hear that, you should be good.
And it should bolt right up to the flywheel or the flex plate or whatever.
Yeah. What I always do, just to be on the safe side, I always check my clearances between the torque converter and the flywheel to make sure it doesn't come out more than it should. Because if it does come out more than it should, you'll pretty much run into pump problems. Once we line up the transmission to the motor, I'll see where our clearances are at from the torque converter to the flywheel and go from there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I always check flywheels before I go back in.
And what are you checking for?
Pretty much if it had a crack, it would have a different sound on the flywheel, so sounds hollow, so that's good. That's something I would check, make sure that the rear main is dry. Because if it's leaking right now is the time I replace it. But it actually looks brand new. So what I always do as well, there's a hole on the flywheel that's oval. So if you put that oval hole right here where the starter's at, you could go ahead and put that bolt in there and tighten it, and the other 2 are gonna line up as well. As long as you put that oval hole. You start with that oval hole. That way you don't have to snug them up and go all around and then tying them up. You'll save time by doing it that way. And then my dipstick, I always put it up in here. I just kind of shove it in there because it's got to be in there.
Yep.
You don't want to put the transmission and then put the dipstick afterwards because it will be really hard to line up that dipstick. I always make sure all my connections are nice and clean. If there's anything that I notice on the harness that looks like it's torn, right now is the time to do it. It's easy access. We already inspected all our connections. All our connections are good. Our neutral safety switch. You don't remove these plugs because they're glued on there. So you don't want to try and take those out. So
that's a great tip.
You'll end up breaking. You could take them out.
Sure.
You have to heat them up and then they'll eventually come out. But it's easier to just take out the true 13s that are right in here. So you take out the 15 nut where it's on the shifter lever, take the lever out. As you're taking the 13s out, you're prying on in between here and the case to take the neutral safety switch out.
how'd you kind of finish it up? It looks like you did a lot of cleanup, which is amazing.
Yeah, man, just, you know, we're already out, so we were just doing the torque converter, but I mean, training's out, might as well do a little bit of cleaning. Everything got all the harnesses to where they're out the way, nothing could get hot and melted. So did a service, new filter, new gasket, brand new oil. Everything's where it belongs. All the brackets, wires, starter, cooler lines are out the way. No leaks, we just got back from a test drive.
All right, well, I feel really good about this. I'm so glad I didn't try to tackle this myself in my garage at home. It would have ended badly. But if you're in the Vegas area, I think Jose's Transmission, these guys are set apart. They're gonna take really good care of you and engage with you on a personal level to make sure they get your project done right. So check them out, and I can't wait to drive this thing around, see how this Circle D torque converter does. I'll be sure to let you guys know how it's feeling after a few days of driving it. So that's a wrap.
There you go.
Awesome, man. All right, well, that was a good time working with Jose. I think he did an awesome job, and there's been 0 leaks. It's been running as it should. So real quick, my impression on the Circle D torque converter is it's a great torque converter. It's working as designed, and as far as performance gains, I think this thing is perfect because it absolutely feels stock, but I can light the tires up anytime I want, taken off from a stoplight. So I definitely could not do that before, and that makes the truck, I think, 10 times more fun to be able to just stomp on it and spin the tires a few times. I think it is the perfect torque converter for this truck and for my style, and highly recommend. Let me know what your questions are in your comments. Hit the like button if you could, subscribe if you want, and we'll see you on another one soon.